Hey guys, hey y'all, how are you all doing? I'm gladly announcing the continuation of the Kingdom Hearts 3 mod series and the changes that I've made to this series from here on out. As you may notice, I'm no longer playing as Terra in this moment, and that is because I've decided to have myself a variety of most epicable characters that we're going to play with. So like I'm going to do one character for every single custom map. Well, we're not just going to be playing only custom maps, we'll be playing any maps, even maps from the game. Maps from the game and custom maps are both included. And this is going to be exciting because I've been doing this for a pretty long time now, and I've literally got a really strong gameplay, how should I say, a really strong foundation over the way we're going to be doing this from here on out. And the command line is going to be used for everything, including custom maps. While you may say command line is not really suited for custom maps because of the way it works and magnetizing enemies towards the wall, but this is the way to go if you don't want me to go back to the crashy XZ-Blade menu, because I choose to completely give up on the XZ-Blade menu after the events we've been having in the past, because I was like, no, we can no longer bother. I know XZ-Blade menu can allow you to summon by just clicking, but the thing is, it is an unstable mod compared to command line. Command line is 100% stable and you can summon them in any instance. On custom maps, you should always go for a lower number like 28, but 1 to 8 works better because you'll be able to summon them like this. The way it works, they get summoned, they get magnetized towards one side, but because XZ-Blade menu is just so broken, you're not actually guaranteed to be able to use it without crash, which is why I'm not using it anymore. I know what you're thinking, but yes indeed, I have talked to myself and I knew for certain that XZ-Blade menu had to be gave up on once and for all. I can't come back to it anymore because, well, first of all, command line is a lot more convenient, 10 million times more convenient, I must say, because you can even save the Heartmore you type over here, and then you can just click once and bam, you can just spawn them over and over again whenever you want. And in my opinion, that is a lot more reliable, infinite times more reliable than what XZ-Blade menu can do. I really recommend that you don't go for XZ-Blade menu. Like, trust me, I know it may seem like you could just easily summon them by just clicking on them, but the command line actually does it a lot more better than XZ-Blade menu does. Even though it could use a bit of functionality in custom maps, but it still functions. The fact that I can click it and Heartmore still spawn, so it works. So it's just no problem. You see, I clicked it. The only thing is they have to just ungroup themselves, like you see over here. Once they are grouped, you can actually fight them like this. So there isn't any problem about that. Yup. Now let's just talk about the modifications that I made towards this series. I've made quite a lot of modifications. Mostly it's still gonna be the same like it was before, but this is gonna be the improved edition of Kingdom Hearts 3 mods we've never been having before. I don't know where to start. Like I already told you, the command line, the way we'll be using it from here on out on every map. The one with the magnetizing only works on custom maps. The maps in which you can get right, the Heartmore will basically just summon all over around you. But for such maps, for custom maps, we'll only be doing it like this when they get magnetized towards the side of the wall. We'll wait for them to ungroup and we'll fight them. Like I said, I've downloaded a lot of custom characters. I can show you over here. Right now we're playing with Ryu Hayabusa. I've a lot of thoughts went into this. A lot of thoughts, experimentation, days and days of me playing with the characters and voice cracking right now because I'm right. So and I came to the agreement that these are the characters I'm going to be having from here on out. Not like I had any more choices than this. Like the amount of characters you can find on Nexus mods is quite limited. I didn't find an unlimited amount of characters I can have. You go, look, oh my god, there's past 1 million characters out there that I can play as. It's not really like that. I barely managed to find 32 playable characters that I can actually enjoy my time with in best way possible. There were some of them like the Project Equinox, Project. These were like probably the best ones. I have all of them as well. In fact, there isn't a single project mod that I don't have. I have all of the project mods inside this Kingdom Hearts 3 characters folder right here. So I've added all of the characters. So these are the characters we're going to be playing as from here on out. Every character comes equipped with their own keyblades, their own brand attacks. I made sure about it 100%. And even if they didn't have any sort of movesets whatsoever, I've added each and every single one of them custom movesets over some keyblades. Some replaced Kingdom Key, some replaced High Wind and Storm Flag. This came in handy super good because I had some characters that didn't have any moveset at all. They were all using basic Sora's moveset, which is just boring. I didn't want to fight and play like that. I made sure to include them with their own movesets, and it's really epic. So there's also some characters that not all of them will be over Sora. A couple of them, like Aladdin, like Azrael, like some other ones, will be over Riku. One will be over Kairi, and yeah, we still include Aqua as well. The playable Aqua did not work for me because playable Aqua that replaces Sora just does not work. It's just that was the only one not working. But so Aqua is gonna be played just like, well, player Aqua doesn't need to be placed over Sora since Aqua is already playable. Okay, so we have Aladdin who's over Riku. We have Ansem over Sora, but I'm not gonna say who over what, so whatever. Let's just say what characters we're gonna be using. We're gonna be using Aladdin, we're gonna be using Ansem, we're gonna be using Aqua, Azrael, Cloud, Donald, Iroquois, Garland, Goku, Goofy, Joker, Larsen, Link, Master Xehanort, Neku, Riku, Roxas, Ryuga, Scaramouche, Sephiroth, Sora, Strelitzia, Tails, Strelitzia instead of Kairi because I wanted Strelitzia. Tails, Terra, Vanitas, Ventus, Vivian, Xemnas, Sigvar, Xian, Yozora, and Yugi. Alright, these are all the characters we're gonna be using. No more than that, and I don't think we'll ever be using any other characters except for the ones that are specified over here for life. All the 32 characters that I've chosen are to be played with in Kingdom Hearts 3 worlds every single time. Now stuff will work a bit more differently than how we used to do it before, because right now we're no longer going to be wasting hours and hours on gameplay footage on the same map like we used to do plenty of times. Things are changing and we are doing only, actually not even 28 minutes, less than 28 minutes on one map before moving to the next map, because the way it works, 32 characters in one day is an incredibly hard and could be even tiring task for me. I've done this daily and it takes forever to play with 32 characters in one day, especially if you get sidetracked in a couple of maps and you end up spending way too much time. So this is what I'm gonna make sure I'm not gonna do from here on out. I managed to succeed a lot of days, and yeah, I proved to myself that it is indeed possible to play with 32 characters in one day. But I always have to be timing myself, because apparently if I don't time myself, I cannot do that. There is just no way. So timing myself, only giving myself 12 to 14 minutes. That's right, not even 28 minutes, because 28 minutes apparently is too much. 12 minutes with every single character in all the maps. Some maps are gonna be larger, but we can still play them for 12 minutes if we do it right. And so yeah, I really hope that you aren't gonna be confused or complexed about how this series is gonna work. Like I already said, we're gonna be playing with all these characters in order they've been picked at the very least. And the maps are going to be also chosen in the order they are picked. 12 minutes with every single character will mean, since we have 32 characters, will be taking for about 7 hours or maybe even 8 hours in total to while we're doing all of this. So that's all the details that I specified. We'll seriously be having a lot of fun over here. maybe we are gonna do things in a bit of a rushed manner, because we are supposed to play with all these characters in 12 minutes. Then, man, 12 minutes is fast. Move on to the next map, next character, next map, next character, next map, next character. And we are supposed to just keep doing it like this. It is the only way, and otherwise it would be a mess, and you wouldn't be liking it, because it would be taking too much time. And this is the most convenient way we could. This is the only way we can do it. So, yeah, there is no other formula that I have in mind for this. This is the formula we go by, and the formula we're gonna be sticking through for here on now. It is, like I said, once again, the most convenient formula that ever existed, and there is not a single formula more flawless than this one. So, to hedge with it, let's do it already. Like I said, all the characters come with their own keyblades. Like Ryu Hayabusa is the character we're playing with right now. He's a ninja, he's epic, I'm getting lagged. I had to be out doing a lot of uploading. My PC didn't even rest today. I had to stand up and end past my sleep time as well, just so I could upload. I mean, the uploads were going while I was sleeping, practically. Yep. But anyways, now that we finished all of our uploads, we're back at it. We're ready to record more. 848 gigabytes. Let's do this. Whoa! As you can see, this is Ryu Hayabusa and how he attacks. Ryuchin. Whoa. Now, the second form as well is also affected. It also attacks differently. Okay, for this one attacks. He's changed only for the double form here. I've included Ryu Hayabusa with all of his movesets that were included by the author of the mod. That I forgot his name, I'm sorry. But thank you for the author of the mod for providing these mods, of course. For every one of them, thanks a lot for these mods, because I desperately needed them. They're gonna be displayed very nicely in my videos, I can assure you of that. Past this first video where I'm doing way too much introductions. Let us begin. The timer needs to be right next to me. The timer right now sits in my bed, and I need to go and get it. My face cam just become blurry there for a couple of seconds. Hope you're all excited, because if you think we were doing this series really greatly before, then you've seen nothing, because right now we're going to see it even better. Let me mention a couple more things. I haven't mentioned everything just yet. Let me just press F1 over here. So you can't see what mod I'm using there, sorry. So we are using command lines, we're using Daybreak Town, apparently because I have to bind that one as well. And other maps that are not written over here is the ones that didn't require to be written in mod loader, obviously, and they load without mod loader. The ones that need mod loader, I need to write them over here. There is this one over here, the newly introduced one called Always Drop Items. I know what you're saying, but New Glory, they were already always dropping items. Matter of fact, some of them weren't. And this one actually makes sure that they drop without even me needing to have lucky rings on. I'm still having lucky rings on me and my teammates, but this time I'm also using, and I advise you have this as well if you don't want them, is the way it works. If there are too many prizes on the field, they don't get magnetized to you, and you're not going to be able to get them properly. You want them to magnetize the prize rewards onto you, otherwise they will remain on the ground, they will gather too many of them, and the Heartmore at some point won't be dropping any more of these item drops. Because I've seen it, it's how it works. If there are too many items lying on the field and you don't pick all of them up, the Heartmore won't be dropping anymore, well, until you pick them up. So I want to go to the equipment. The drawing, you only need one. I have two of them just because I wanted to have 100 magic. But you only need one drawing. One drawing is enough to draw you from an infinite distance all of the items and all of the drops that Heartmore drop. So this is the Master Treasure Magnet. I don't know why I didn't use this earlier, because if I knew how good and blessed this thing is, I would have used it earlier. I didn't have this on me before, which is why things wouldn't get magnetized onto me. Only works for player Sora character. If you play as player Riku or another secondary character, well, any player that is over Sora works, of course. But just player Sora is able to use the Master Treasure Magnet. Doesn't work for any other characters. Only for the main character. And for characters that replace the main character. So this Master Treasure Magnet will make sure that everything at all times gets magnetized from whatever distance it is. It always gets magnetized to us. This way we can ensure that all the item drops and everything else always gets tracked to us, so that every Heartmore can drop their items all the time. This is probably not that important to you, but I just like it this way to make sure it's perfect. So yeah, this, in case you also need it, I would advise you have a drawing. And well, like I said, Lucky Ring isn't even needed, but I didn't even need to replace this with service, I still let it on me. Only the drawing is what you need. Make sure you have the drawing on if you want all the items to get magnetized onto you properly. And the always drop items mod, yeah, you can find on Nexus mods, of course. Always drop items, and this is actually a bit more different than I never used to see Now let me just show you. If you spawn only one Heartmore, for example, one Heartmore can contain 4 drops or 3. You can literally get that many items just from one Heartmore. I'm not sure why this mod does it like that, but that's kind of funny. Like, let's just first of all, the list is too large for me here. Just a second, we'll begin with the video. I mean, we've already started, lol. Spawn Power Wild 1. And if you spawn Power Wild 1, and we strike him one time, 1, 2, 3, 4. He literally dropped 4 things. He dropped 4. Like, how do you get 4 item drops from just one Heartmore? Yeah, you can see they drop a lot of items just killing one of them. I don't think I've ever seen them doing this. This always drop items mod that does it like this. Just striking one Heartmore down gives you 4 different items, which is very funny. Anyways, that's about what that mod does. It ensures that everything drops, and in super large quantity as well. Yeah. Even Puffball. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that dropped. Alright, 3 items from Puffball. Very fun. That just dropped so many of them. There you go. Now, this being said, we probably made the intro long as usual. But again, like usual, these are just the type of details that I only need to give one time, and then I never need to talk about it anymore. So, good. I think we got those details out of the way. Did I forget to mention something? Well, I don't know. Let me just ask myself, did I forget? I think I didn't. And if I did, goddamn. Okay. How could I forget? Of course I didn't. Yeah, yesterday, as a final touch, I felt the need to apply a bit of reshade. Oh no, you're going out reshade. I know, it was a bit of a hassle, but I did find the best of all options for it. And surprisingly, hopefully, it won't lag me during my gameplay, because everything I'm using over here is this, and which is not always in my face cam. Like, thank you very much. We're using HDR, fake HDR, Luma Sharpen, Sharp Contrast. Now, the fake HDR is... I didn't like the fake HDR, but I still used it. What the fudge, Glory? Why would you still use it if you don't like it? Because I used it in small quantity, really extremely small quantity, but you barely even notice it, probably. I only just redust the lighting only one little bit. That's all I did with the fake HDR. As you can see, these are the values I'm using: 0982, 0928, 0882. In my opinion, these are the best values if you just don't like fake HDR, but you just want to use it one tiny bit, because after all, we're using reshade, we're supposed to do a bit of shading there, at least one bit. So I had to use fake HDR as the only means of shading. Luma sharpen and sharp contrast I've worked out, and according to what some people were also saying, they are the best ones for making the image move. I was actually using CAS before as well, but CAS is actually not good. It was a bit too sharp for my taste as well, I agree. Luma sharpen and sharp contrast turned out to be the best ones. So only these three things. I'm so determined on using only these three options that I've deleted literally every single other filter effect. Every other effect has been removed. I only keep HDR, Luma sharpen and sharp contrast, because these are the best ones in my opinion, and hopefully in your opinion as well. So let us do this. HDR, Luma sharpen and sharp contrast. Luma sharpen and sharp contrast, I have not modified these are still the same, because they were already modified from the very start, so I didn't need to change anything. They already do what they're supposed to do. All I needed to change was the HDR to make it a bit less HDR-ish and more close to how the game usually is, because apparently if you do HDR, it drastically changes the way the game looks, and in lots of corners you may appear way too dark, which is why the HDR sucks in that area, and you would not want HDR over the original game graphics. But if you want to use HDR, use it just in extremely small quantity, to the point where it wouldn't modify the game's graphics way too much, because then that is when you know that is a bad HDR. So this is a good HDR we're using it, because all it does is just it just brightened a bit less. No, it's still the same. You can't tell it's doing anything, but I modified just one tiny bit so you can't tell it's doing anything practically. Just that, well, it looks better, but there you go. I already said it. Stop ramping up GPU, my goodness gracious. I'm not sure if it is the reshade causing my GPU to ramp up even more right now. But I'm also gonna go on and... Okay, I sure do hope this... I still don't know what this does. Like... Performance mode, reload... All effects into a more optimal representation. I can give a performance but disables variable tweaking. I'm not sure what... this literally seems like it's doing nothing once I'm clicking onto it. Guys, why is this not doing anything? Am I meant to see a difference? It's the performance. It's showing I'm running at 30 FPS somehow, but there's no way, because I'm not capped. Unless somehow the... I didn't think about it. Does the reshade menu... I'm not at 30 FPS. But yeah, the reshade menu says I'm at 30 FPS. Unless this thing is somehow lagging me. But there's no way, because I'm already having my... But my frame rate is unlocked. I cannot be at 30 FPS. My resolution scale is only 100. I'm a bit confused there about that. But anyways, I'm working out that is how we wanna do it. Unless of course you want me to get rid entirely. But just let me, because I might as well just also get rid of the reshade at some point if you don't want me to have it. Like, I still cannot confirm whether or not it would cause me lag in game. But if it does, I would rather get rid of it. Because I don't want to have extra lag, especially knowing that we would be lagging, spawning in Heartmore a bit. Right. So here we go. Everything, we've talked about everything the way we could talk about it. Oh, you choose to play this music? Well, I love it. Next music. Alright, let us begin. I don't like this music either. Another one. This one, perfect, my music. Let us begin, fellas. So custom maps will have the combos we're using specifically on custom maps, which are the custom combos. A couple of maps are really working bad with enemy spawns, with armor spawns. And such couple of maps will be eventually, usually the larger maps. Large area combos will be spawned lesser to 28. They have a bit of a bug into them that they'll cause you to crash immediately. But such maps are quite rare. Pretty much every single map works properly with the armor spawns, which is good. So we'll only be requiring to use the custom combos. Beginning with this map called Void Remnants. Once again, all we'll be doing is just armor fighting. Nothing else. And plus my teammate's AI has also been modified according to how I found it best to be modified. Like every AI is set to Sora target just so they don't interfere too much or unnecessarily. Alright. It's better like that. I think that's the best AI setup in my opinion. So the point where they still follow you around. Well, not in custom maps, because in custom maps they can't follow you around. So yeah, we'll still be spawning them. Man, I got nothing else to say. Let's just begin. So, Chief Proof and Power Wild, we only got 14 minutes. So might as well just go at it. I'll also be noting where we left at, just to make sure we don't get lost. On maps where we can actually spawn them properly and they don't get magnetized, we'll be able to build the spawn combinations, which are the 4 to 8 ones. But I know, talking too much will probably just get you confused, so let's just begin. Once again. And of course, standing in some sites doesn't even spawn them on custom maps for some reason. I have to be standing on some specific spots. Shift Puff and Power Wilds. No. It may be a bit of a hassle depending on how long they take to ungroup. Hopefully they don't take that much. Should be good. And let us start. But you can... Now make sure all the characters get their best of all moves. So yeah, I expect to see lots of these epic moves on the battlefield from all the characters. That was on quick. Let's use the double fall next. Once per and then Spirit. Oh, we are using the one hit kill on because that would just help us get the job done a lot more quicker. I have a really strong feeling about the reshade right now causing me extra lag. Like it's actually even more laggier than usual somehow. But again, could be because I didn't shut down my PC. Had to upload one day. And again. We may be a bit more lag during this gameplay, I do apologize. This is how we're going to play, however. But you can. Incredibly broken Ryu Hayabusa. Very good. Wow! What the flick did I do over there? Flamecore and Bizarre Archer. Those are like the most trusty combinations of Heartmore spawns I can do in a map. Just to make sure I'm not even exaggerating about the enemy counts here. We're only doing 1 to 8. Actually, I took some arrows into me. Felt good. They felt like toy arrows. Like this. I was just gliding around and I took arrows. What have you gotten? I gotta remind you though, 14 minutes go by incredibly quick when you're doing this. So it can be rather challenging in some situations for you to perform it all in that short of a time frame. But of course it's not gonna be tricky for me because I've been doing this for days straight. I already got used to it 100%. You've been torturing yourself for that many days. Torturing? I've been enjoying it in the best way possible, not torturing. I think this is torture, but look, it's the best. Well, whatever you consider it, you can have fun in the best way possible. It would become torturing if it didn't execute properly then. I've had such moments as well. I know that you can work with it, as long as you can work with it, it's incredibly epic. But whoa, taste the violent turbo twister. Boom. We're just killing bouncy pets and patchwork animals now. Well, they were among my favorites, so of course I had to include them. Where you go? What is Let's see. One split current tasks. Steady mate. What else did you change about the series? What else did I change about the series? I already said. Nothing else. The fact that it's still going to be laggy in certain bits, that will never change. Because there is no way to change that. That's to give me the most performant PC in existence. Okay then. I sure do hope that slight lag doesn't bother you guys. You know, lag is often considered a part of our lives and I just can't get used to it. Like this, if it's not too much lag, then it's good. I mean, this is just natural lag. A natural lag is acceptable. I mean, this, it's not even lag, it's, well, I mean, you can't run faster than that. It's already running at maximum capacity for me. Like this. Okay. I also have to mention, before we were having random teammates every single time between maps. I gave up on that idea, and of course now we're having random playable characters instead of random teammates, which is a lot more better. I figured that I don't need to always have the random teammates. There's a lot of teammates I don't even like having, to be honest. So my favorite teammates to have always are, as you can probably see over here, Sully, Tails, which is Mickey Mouse, Jack, Woody, Flynn, and Goomba. Those are my favorite teammates to be having, and we're always gonna be having them. Yup. Every single time we go somewhere, these teammates are just always gonna be by our side. And they ain't really gonna do much, because I set their eye to be quite noobishly, and they'll be like more like explorers or tourists, and Well, I don't quite get engaged in combat that often unless I target someone and then they go for what I'm targeting. But apart from that, yeah, they won't really do much fine. They're mostly present here to keep me company. Yeah, teammates in a nutshell. At least my new definition of what a teammate is. Winterhorn and Shadow. Uh-oh, the shadows in this. Whoa, okay, look. Yeah, that is some. The bomb's really good over there. Hold up, Winterhorns, I can't go the shadows on. Shadows! Come on, Shadow the Hedgehog, spawn yourself. There you go. Why Shadow the Hedgehog is Shadow? Alright, there we go, we spawned them. Look at them all getting spawned nicely. Am I right? To you. To you. Wait, did I use the storm flag? I think I did. Back to the sword then. Take this. Boom. Oh my gosh. Ryu Hayabusa's sword leaves no one alive at this point. Whoa, Flynn, the Winterhorn destroyed you over there. I gotta love how Flynn and Goomba are like super frail. I assume it's because, well, they're not godly like everyone else, obviously. You're always gonna see them drop dead really quick. Unlike everyone else. Oh wait, second form. Unleash. Ninjutsu. Ninjutsu. Let's see. Patchwork animal. Oopsie, alright. You know, you see, standing on some spots, just I don't know why it is like this, but depending on what spot you're standing at, when you're pressing spawn with your command line, you might not even spawn them because I don't know, it's getting some invalid. Because it's hard to explain, but there are certain spots if you're standing on and you're trying to spawn them, they don't even spawn. You have to pick another spot. Or it also works if you just jump while spawning them at the same way, like this. But I'm not sure why it is like that. It always, a couple of spots, if you're standing still on a couple of spots, the game doesn't register you trying to spawn them and they don't spawn themselves. That's just for a couple of spots. It does that, I'm not sure why. Seems to happen only on custom maps. The way the command line works kinda affects the way you can spawn them. Hit it again. I see if I ride fasting that. But anyways, every single time we still spawn them like this. So yeah, make sure to stay in a spot that always allows you to summon them. They do summon perfectly all the time. So as you can see, they scatter. They even went that way. They even went that way. But anyways, go. Some things may be rather hard to gesticulate, but whatever. Like this. They aren't all written down on paper. They're just able to be worked with practically. Yep. Like this. Oh, bam! Following some sort of script? Yeah, as you can see, once again, I'm standing in that spot and nothing spawns. Bouncy pet pigs and tile blades. So I'm just gonna jump while spawning. This way they spawn properly. From my experience with summoning on custom maps, a couple of things that I found are always harder to ungroup, like the bouncy pets, for example. The popcats too, they don't really... the popcats don't even ungroup compared to everything else. But everything else does ungroup. Like, it is crazy to see how well this works. Oh my god, 14 minutes have already passed. Yeah. So apparently we have run out of time and we gotta move on to the next map. Yeah, this is how it's always gonna work. So trust me when I say you that when we are doing this, we gotta execute it really quick. Like, we can be taking too much time otherwise, and time will just go by us really quick. Like I remind you, we're not taking 28 minutes, we're taking only 12 minutes. So essentially even less time. And storage space, which is good because we're not spending too much storage space. There you go, the bouncy pet pigs and the tile blades have been vanquished. We have run out of time, however, and we need to stop. No excuses. Not a single more Heartmore spawn because we ran out of time. I also gonna know where I'm at. Actually wait, I don't have to know, do I? Oh no, because I'm recording myself right now, I'm gonna know where I'm at. Haha. Good point. Well, that's about the jigs of it. This is how we do little maps from here now. And so right now we finished our first custom map with our first custom character. We're gonna move on to the next playable character, onto the next playable map. So every playable character gets one map practically. I could have do 2 maps with one character only, but no, it is still better we do only one map with every character because it's still 32 characters, so we want to play all 32 characters in just one day. The best way to do that is to do 12 minutes with each and every single one of them. Yup. Onto different stages. So yeah, the next stage with the next playable character. Ryu Hayabusa, your time is up. What are you doing? Whoa, Joe, relax, slash, alright. And now the next character. Good job, teammates. Thank you for assisting me into this epic mission. We resume on to the next places in the best way possible. And yeah, we go because we can't just be talking endlessly and not doing action. We talk and do action in the best way possible. So, your lights, camera, action. Next video.